Hey everybody, this is Melanie Headley. You are listening to ToRAISE Questions Doula podcast. Kind of whispering here because we have snuck into the studio today, and I am not with Thérèse Hakoun. I am with the lovely Sarah Allen Short.
Hi everybody, I've missed you.
Hi Sarah.
Hi Melanie.
I've missed you guys.
Across
the table from you.
It's really nice to be back, and I'm going to do one other episode with you guys.
Yes.
After this, for next week, but I'm so glad to be back. And the reason we have snuck into the studio is I just wanted to do a special episode to talk a little bit more about what's going on with you and with the listeners who I know love ToRAISE. So I think you guys shared in the last podcast or the podcast before that she has had a recurrence of cancer. Mm-hmm. And several of us started a fundraising effort for her because the thing is, so she's doing a lot of traditional and complementary healing modalities, and she, there's everything from insurance deductibles to, surgery, chemo. She's going to be going through a lot this summer, and she has a plan in place to keep to labor running smoothly, but she herself is not going to be able to work as much. And in addition to not working as much, she has a lot of medical expenses. So I just wanted to make sure everybody knew this was going on and know that there's a fundraising effort in place. And when you guys mentioned it before, the one thing that confused me is that you can donate to the podcast, right? That's a separate thing. Mm-hmm. And where do you do that?
That can be found on the tolabor.com website.
And then there's also a separate fundraising effort that is for Thérèse's healing journey. And we're calling that 1 in a million because the cancer she has
this cancer
is super rare. And Thérèse herself is also 1 in a million to us.
Super rare, yes.
And so there's two ways. Three ways. You can find this. Okay. So one is there's a Facebook page called 1 in a Million, Thérèse Hakoun. And we're posting updates there. If you like that, you can find a link to the fundraising site. We're trying to raise a significant amount of money for expenses and medical treatments and travel. She's going to have a treatment that's only available in British Columbia, and so she's going to have to travel. So that's the first thing. The second thing is if you go to the Facebook To Labor page, you might have to scroll a little bit, but maybe we can repost it.
And we can pin it to the top.
Okay. When this is, yeah. And then the third way is if you go to giveforward.com and you just search either Thérèse Hakoun. So look on the Facebook page, or on Give Forward. If you can't give money, which I know, we talk a lot about the doula profession, and how it's, you're not like a lot of millionaires in the doula profession, although there are some. We want miles, airline miles. We want hotel points for travel. We want, anything that could facilitate some travel.
How would they donate those?
I don't know. Okay. I guess what they'll do is email me and figure out how to transfer them to her. That's just going to be on a case-by-case basis.
And what's your email?
Sarah.allenshort, so SARAH .allenshort, ALLENSHORT @gmail.com.
Perfect.
And there's a 1 in a million email address that's a couple places. I'll get that too. Anything that you can do to help. Honestly, Thérèse has attended. So part of what I wanted to hear how you met her.
She was my doula.
Really?
Yeah. I met her for my
second baby.
For my second, and then my third, and then my fourth.
Oh, wow.
Yep. But so do you remember when, this still happens when she teaches workshops here, and you're with, I was with Nancy, and Nancy said, hey, there's this workshop going on and you're pregnant and they need pregnant models to go in.
Yeah.
And so go in and see how you feel about Thérèse. She's the one that's teaching the workshop. And if you would like her to attend your birth, invite her. She loves to be invited to births. And so I said, okay. So I went in and I had my pillow, and I brought in another of my pregnant friends, and was palpated by all of these new doulas. And I was not a doula yet then myself, and met Thérèse, and she was so lovely and just, so warm, and immediately put me at ease. And my mom was kind of waiting in the wings. She was coming to pick us up, and I said, I have to go invite this woman to my birth. Hold on a second. And my mom thought that was hilarious. And so I did. I invited her, and she came, and she she was beautiful.
Yeah.
And then I made sure that she was there for my third and my fourth.
Yeah. Yeah. So I met her because she runs the home birth circle. And with my second baby, I met her that way. I had a similar experience. My midwife said, well, my midwife's assistant, I want you to think about whether you'd like her to be there. And if you and then talk to her about it. And I felt weird. I felt like shy about it,
I know.
So what ended up happening is actually before that all happened, we were forming a committee to bring the business of being born to Richmond. We were doing a screening in a huge theater, and she put it out on the home birth circle. Hey, is anybody interested in working on this committee with me? And I was 6 or 7 months pregnant and was fairly new to Richmond and interested in meeting some birthy people. And so I went to the committee. And what followed was like this really lovely, like 2-year little group of people that sort of morphed into a nonprofit and just did a lot of birth stuff together. And it was at her house. She was the focal point of it. But so we had a few meetings, and I finally worked up the nerve to say, like, would you come to my birth? And then I was like in really, really early prodromal labor at the screening of Business of Being Born. And I'll never forget Patience and Kelly and Krista standing at the door and going, oh my God, you're glowing. Are you in labor? And I said, no, I'm not in labor. No, I'm not in labor yet. And I was just having like little occasional, but pretty strong Braxton Hicks. And I had my baby 24 hours later. And so I asked her to be there, and she was. And she said one of the most, I've told this story before a million times, but she said the thing that changed my labor for me when I was in transition. I tend to have long prodromal labors, and then I'm from 4 centimeters to baby in arms in like a couple of hours, and it's pretty intense. And I was in transition, and of course didn't know it, even though I was told. And I was, the midwife said, embrace the pain. This is going to bring your baby to you. And I was like, so mad. Like, how dare you say that to me? You do not know how this feels. And I said something nasty to the wonderful, magical midwife that everyone loves. And Thérèse said, so Thérèse was there. She has 6 children. Nancy has 4 children. My other friend Holly has 4 children. And then I had 1 and was birthing my second. And Thérèse said, the women in this room have had 15 children between them. And the one you're having now is the 16th. We know. We've done it. And you can do it too. And you are doing it. And it completely changed the energy of the room. And since then, I've gone on, to become very close friends with her. And I just adore her. And I feel like she has spent her entire life giving to other people.
She has. Giving
free time, advice, energy to other people. And I just want her to have everything that she needs. So, we did a while back, early on in the podcast, we told Therese's story. If you haven't heard it, go back and listen to episodes 13 and 14. She has a long life of birth work and talked a lot about how some of the lessons that she learned in birth work helped her through. Her daughter had cancer and died in, I think she was 20, 21. And, helped her make decisions and choices during that process. And during her own treatment, I know that her doula sensibility has helped her. And she just has a fascinating story of her children and her life. And I encourage you to go back and listen to that.
She has a way of drawing people in. I mean, just little stories she'll tell me here and there about going through treatment. She is meeting so many people that already know of her.
Yeah.
Through birth work, which is so fascinating and just such a testament to who she is in this community. And, we're so lucky to have her here, but we know that she's touched so many lives all over the world.
When I got my 40th birthday tattoo, the people in the tattoo parlor knew her because her son is a tattoo artist. But it was just one of those funny moments where they're like, what do you do? And I was telling them we were talking, oh, you're a doula. Do you know Thérèse? And I was like, how do you know Thérèse? This is a bunch of 25-year-olds in a tattoo shop.
I actually knew one of her sons before I knew her. He worked for my husband and I when we owned a restaurant.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I remember peeling garlic with Chances.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So I thank you for letting me sneak in here with you, Melanie.
No, this was fun. Thanks for being here.
And I just really, whatever you guys can do and you know what, she's of course very uncomfortable with all of this, which is why we're sneaking in. And if all you can do is send her the thing that's meaningful to her is healing circles of light. If you just imagine she's undergoing chemo right now, and it'd be a few rounds of that, and then some further treatments, but just imagine healing circles of light. Send her healing circles of light. That's really what she wants the most. I am asking for money on her behalf.
And I am asking for money.
She is asking for healing circles of light. So that is awesome. And I believe that the support of the community, emotionally, spiritually, financially, everything was a big part of why she recovered so well last time.
Yes.
And I want to do it again because she's super important to me. And I know that I see the reviews, I see the emails. I remember like so many people listening. You guys are off the air for 3 weeks and everyone's losing their minds. Where are you guys? Where's the podcast? So, donate to the podcast because you love the podcast, and do that on tolabor.com. But also consider if you have any to spare, donating even a few dollars.
Anything will help.
A few dollars or a few $100 or a few thousand miles or a few $1 million if there's any millionaire doulas listening. Thank you, Melanie. And thank you, everybody that's listening.
Thank you, Sarah. Thanks, everyone.